Alright, welcome back. So today we're going to do part 2 of shooting, and we're also going to add some GUI element for our health bar for our character, so we can do two things at once. Alright, so the first thing we did was for our enemy, we added a bullet prefab. So if we go in here, our headers, sorry about that, our headers, we have two things that we added. One was the health bar, one was a bullet for our AI, so our enemy. We also added a bullet prefab, and then we added the function shoot. We added a new number, current health, and then for field distance, instead of 15 we got it 30, and then we added these two things. Okay, and we're gonna code that later because now we're gonna actually have shoot, because the shoot's already written. We're just gonna add it in there. Next, the next thing we did was, for GUI, I have an health image, which is just a heart, which is around 1200, and then the main character, which we're going to reference the health bar, and then change the image depending on how much health the character has. Okay, so that's going to be that. So in the end, let's start coding this stuff. And the first thing we're going to code is actually the shooter AI. This is shooting. Now this one's going to be super simple. We're going to go into our gun handler. We're going to take the shoot from our gun handler, literally everything inside the if statement. Just going to copy it. Alright, and then we're just going to paste it right here, and we're going to change a few things, of course. So the first thing we're going to change is over here. Instead of taking that, we're just going to reference the bullet prefab dot get. So now this references the bullet prefab. Then its position, we're going to put it in the, instead of the gun, we're going to do node. Now what that does is, in our enemy, our child is the eyes, so it's going to shoot from the eyes. Simple and fair. Alright, then it's looking at, so we're going to make it look at the same place that the node's looking at. So node get world position plus node get world direction, and then for direction we're going to do the forward axis, which is axis Y. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to change our bullet, everything is here. Over here we're going to set the damage, and we're just going to set it to a specific number. Let's just set it to 1. One's good enough. Then the next thing we're gonna do is keep all this. We're gonna delete this stuff, and then maybe change the speed. Maybe just make it 50. You know, just a little bit slower. We're gonna be good. The next thing we did was, since we changed the distance to be 30, let's also change the distance of how close the object gets. About 20 should be good, because once it's like less than 20 feet or 20 meters, then it starts shooting. That sounds good, sounds well and done, and we're done with our shooting. So if we wanted to check it out, we will definitely get hit. The next thing we did was, in our main character, we added a health bar, and we gave him 50 health, which is a lot, but at the same time, I guess it's worth it. Alright, so then we go into the HUD maker, because now we're going to change the HUD, the GUI itself, HUD maker. We have the main character, which is the thing itself referenced, and the picture, which is a 1200 by 1024 by 1024. And what we're going to do in the HUD maker is we're going to add two functions: lose health, add health. We also added a health bar pointer, and we added a current health. Alongside that, we're going to add a grid. A grid would be putting the hearts in a grid, and, you know, just making it look like a proper health bar. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go over here. We're going to first get the main character health. Alright, and then we're just going to reference it. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the current health and choose it to equal the same as the health that we have. So now that they're connected, we're going to use that box that we have over here and I'm just going to change a few values here just so that it fits in the bottom left corner of the screen. Alright, now that we changed the box to fit more on the bottom left side of the screen, I'm going to mute the text because we don't really need it. I will hold control, press K and C, so that mutes it up. So once that's done, we're gonna add the grid. And to add the grid, let's go over here. Let's just add it right here. I'm just gonna call it. Alright, and we're gonna add the grid here. And to add a grid, we're just gonna do health equals to Unigine widget grid box, and then create. Okay, create. So the numbers over here, there's 3 numbers over here, and it's gonna go. The first thing is how many columns in the grid. I'm gonna do a simple 20 columns in the grid. And then over here is going to be the padding X and the padding Y, how much space between each box. So I'm just going to put 1, which is more than enough. We can also do 0, saying no padding, but 1's cool enough so you can see it. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do our function. We have a add health, and then for the amount, we can just do current health. Right, because it's already referenced as the health that we have, we got the current health. All right, then the next thing we're going to do is actually set its position. So health set position, and we're going to set it to the top left corner of this box, which is going to be this. So I'm just going to copy this all, and I'm just going to paste it right here. And that. So now we have a grid that has 20 items in it, has a 1x1 pixel padding in it, and at the moment we have to do this function, and that is what we are going to do right now. So to add that function, let's just go all the way down here. We do void. Alright, so now we have both this function. Let's make this function. So to make, to add the health, we can actually just do it in a for loop. We could do int I, and then the length would be the amount, right? And what we're going to do inside here is we're going to add that image. So we can actually just come over here, copy this whole thing just around here, just about this much, and we can just paste this stuff here. Alright, so then after that, what we can do is, it doesn't know what image is. In our case, this is a different image, not the image that we need, but another image. So we could do a Unigine widget sprite pointer image equals to Unigine widget sprite. Where are you? Right, and then we could do image add layer, right, and then we set image, we set the height and width. In my case, I'm gonna make it 24 by 24, just a little bit smaller than it should be. And then we do a health add child. So now it's gonna add this item, so we can just add image, right? So now it adds this image, all these that are connected, and it's going to do it by the amount of times that you do it, and it's going to automatically set it up because our height is properly fixed. It's going to set it up correctly in that position area. Now for lose health, we're actually going to use the for loop, int I, and then amount, same thing as the other thing, but it's just going to be one little line. It's going to be health remove child, and we're just going to remove the first child that it is. So with grid, it auto aligns to the left. So if you remove like 3 child in the middle, it's going to remove those child and push all the other ones that are in front of it back. So we can just do health get child number 0. so it'll automatically repair. Now this is good because we're using HealthBar, but if you wanted to remove a specific square inside the grid, then you need to do a little bit of math in there. So that fixes that in terms of our HealthBar. All right, so we got our main character, we got our HealthBar, and then we just need to write one more line. It's going to be our update, and what it's going to be is basically we're going to do the logic. So we just do an if current health, right, if current health is greater than main character health, get health. So if the current health, which was 50, is greater than the health that we have, so meaning if we got hit, right, and we lose some health, if it's greater, what we're going to do is we're going to lose health, right, and we're going to lose by this rate. So we're going to lose by current health minus the health that we have. So 50 minus, let's say we lost 2 health, 50 minus 48, that's 2. Right. Then we're going to make current health equals to main character get health, and that's going to work. So now that we have add health correct, we have everything corrected. Let's see if it works. And we have forgot one more thing, and that was to add that into our canvas. So let's add this item into our canvas, and we're gonna just add the health itself. So, and we're just gonna take the aligned expand, so it takes the whole thing, and the aligned overlap. So now we have an object that has all these pictures, and now as you can see I did not correctly put that, so let's do that again. Alright, so now that we have our object, we have our health, let's do this. So let's just shoot him. So now he's staring at me and he's shooting at me. We lost 2 health and we're just dodging it because, you know, we can dodge. Okay, he hit us, and now he hit us again, and we got an error for some reason. Let's just try it again. Alright, so shot us, and it looks like we're getting this error for some reason. Alright, so I'm gonna check on that, but as you can see, when we shoot the guy, he's aiming at us, we shoot him, his health is on the top left, he's aiming at us. We can fix these details later, but if he hits us, let's say he hits us, we lost 2 health, we lost 2 health, we're losing our health, and it's becoming a fight. Okay, there we go. And as you can see, we lost a bit of health. Alright, so we finally managed to make this work, and I need to figure out why it gave me that error, but at the end time, we learned how the object or the enemy is shooting us. We have a health bar, and then we have a loss thing. Now, we can add one more logic for gaining health, but that's only if we actually capture like an item on the floor that gives us health or something. But until then, that's good enough for now. I will see you guys next time. Until then, goodbye.